You wish you could do this. You wish you can go for an entire week keeping this dance up, but you can't. I'm Shamspeare. I put the Shakespeare to shame. You can't handle this. Nobody can, which is why I live in a danky apartment, because if I had my own mansion, the own mansion couldn't handle me. Even Luigi's mansion can't handle me. Those ghosts have got nothing on me. So take that, ghost. I ain't afraid of you. Boston makes me feel good, and I'm doing it right now. And who knows when I'm going to stop? Well, right now. Because we got...
for everything, I guess.
We got more show to do. And maybe we'll see the dance again later, but I've heard there's more dances.
Oh my god.
So let's go. If the defendant had really put the poison into your tea, that 3-hour window of time is something you're gonna have to explain. Gladly! 'Tis an easy task. I'm still doing it. You can't stop me. What?
Get the baseball bat.
I did drink of the tea, not while my guest dysentery, but after he took leave of me. Ha 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 ha! Ha ha ha! Fate was stone cold because it's Stone Cold Day, March 16th. 3:16, Shamspeare said, I'm dancing all over your ass. But at 1 hour post midnight, verily were my lips parched.
Objection! Objection!
That doesn't sound normal. Nay,
It's not normal.
nay, 'tis quite ordinary, sire, after all. Thou wouldst recall our fiery debate. Amid such argument, there'd be no time for fiery tea. Romeo and Juliet again? And who was stronger? Mr. Shamspeare, in summary, allow me to confirm. Did you not come here with the intention of naming your attacker? But of course, my liege. 'Twas the stooped lover of words did attempt to shuffle me off this mortal coil. We all know what that means. Oh yeah, we were still going through a cross-examination through all that dancing. So we've been so the defendant they've been watching him dance for an entire week and nobody's been able to leave.
1 week later.
Mommy, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I'm stuck!
So, you didn't have any kind of evening meal, dinner, supper? Ha! Fie on luxury, fie on gluttony. To eat thrice daily is but a waste of time. Sorry?
Yeah, he just had a perfect mistake.
I would that my belly were full, no more oft than the sun doth rise. Hop, hop, skiddly dop. Well, most heroic eating habits, I must say, and quite the jumping skills. It just goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and
Okay, this
down.
motherfucker,
Oh gosh, it's
Oh.
laggy on my end.
this motherfucker's definitely my favorite meme now.
It's like so many things that this character does. Oh man, I wish I could take video of this right now, but I can't.
Man.
Why don't you just wait till, like, the stream is over?
I could do that too. Night and day do I fill my hours with learned study of the great bard and playwright. Hence is it that there doth not in my chamber be then the costumes of mine art? That would appear to be the case, as even a rodent was found starved to death in your room.
Where the fuck you got it? He starts calling his fucking hang around Poe, we're done.
Now I think of it, it's not just food that was conspicuously missing from that room, is it? I don't recall seeing a single player script anywhere.
For I have devoured them all.
Oh no.
What?
You've eaten them? Every word be within my skull. Didst thou imagine otherwise?
Okay,
was
are we
kind of-
sure he didn't get ink poisoning or something?
I'm speaking metaphorically. I didn't actually eat the fucking paper.
Yes, you did.
If that's the case, that would have been some
Sounds
pretty.
extra enough to do that. Like, oh, if I eat Shakespeare's work, perhaps can become his work. What?
Then again, to me that sounds like if that's the case, he would have had like pretty bad pica syndrome.
Right. That wasn't misleading at all. Now, could you turn around, do you think? Maybe do a turnabout?
Or a roundabout.
Which brings us to the conclusion that the only way the poison could have passed the victim's lips is in the tea. Oh, hi, Squidward. We've been too busy. You've been watching this guy from the witness stand the whole time? Hold it!
Up and steady,
Not
kid.
like I had anything better to do.
Not even your clarinet?
In the shop.
Oh. But the windows of that house have all been filled in.
A historical artifact of the now defunct window tax.
Yeah, you're right there. All bricked up horribly. But as it happens, there's a little part of the brickwork at the bottom corner that's been opened up. I was looking in through that gap.
Yes, there were a few bricks loose there, weren't there?
And for some strange reason, a couple of bars of soap lined up on the ledge outside as well.
I don't like going around poking my chin in other people's business, especially on freezing cold nights. Them's my orders, so that's what I'll keep doing, as long as there's breath in my body.
What's with all the theatricals today? Out of interest, Mr. Materman, after the accused had left and returned to his own lodgings, did you see the victim leave the room at all?
No, he never left. He was in that room the whole time as far as I am concerned.
Why do you look pissed?
And we can therefore discount the possibility of suicide. How can you be sure of that? The police carried out a thorough investigation of the scene and found no receptacle for the poison. And since we know the victim didn't leave his room, and hence didn't dispose of the poison's container himself, it's clear that this was no attempted suicide. Only the culprit could have removed the receptacle. Ah, yes! Lucidly speaking, Counsel. Thank you. It really was. You can't argue with the logic. So your clarinet's been in the shop for a whole week. How you been getting by? Hold it!
With my paintings.
But nobody would take them, so did you have to eat them?
Yes.
Well, remember he has, like, interpretive dance also on his side.
It's not better than mine, though. If you put me and Squidward in front of each other, we'll see who's got the most talent at the end of the night.
Ew.
I've got more talent in one tentacle than you do on your entire body.
All my talent is in my rod. The rod that I'm carrying. And the rod I'm holding in my hands. Is that a problem?
No, we thought the other rod you were talking about.
Get
Trying
your
to compensate for something.
You saw it.
Yeah.
You say a short little round-backed Eastern fella, so you can't be sure it was the defendant.
Objection!
Objection?
How many other short little round-backed Nipponese with a mustache do you think there are in London?
That's racist, Your Honor. Or, never mind.
Well, of course. It's only a narrow gap and it was quite dark, so I didn't notice the mustache. They showed up at around 9, so I'm pretty sure of myself.
And when the person you saw arrived, did he and Mr. Shamspear drink tea together?
Nah, sorry, I couldn't say.
Why not?
Because I couldn't see into the room all that well, could I? What I did see was the silhouette of that round-backed fella wearing a pretty dress. What?
What?
And a pair of them started some kind of wrestling match. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh!
I tell you, I didn't know what to make of it.
Excuse me.
Call me.
Excuse me.
Call me by your name. Tell me in private you love me. Call me by your name. I do not care if you're lying.
I suppose. Was the Romeo and Juliet championship battle getting underway? It was in a dress.
Oh gosh. Okay,
Cocaine.
we're hitting.
Was he a
Sounds,
pretty
sounds like the
girl?
sounds like the 1990s version of Romeo and Juliet. Okay. And of course that one scene. You're thinking what I'm getting at.
Was that the one with like guns?
yes.
Yeah, the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same guy that did the Great Gatsby remake too, where like everybody had fancy cars and fancy parties.
Oh.
They're playing hip hop music.
Yeah, in
Bro.
in the 1920s, mind you.
Yeah, right.
It was weird that they did that like for modern times, because like Gatsby was in his storyline had to do with a lot of stuff that was going on like during the Great Depression, right?
Exactly.
And hip hop wasn't really popular back then. I don't think it was.
It didn't even exist back then.
That's what I was about to say. I don't think it existed.
Or if it did, it wasn't very popular. It was
Like I said, I don't know when hip hop was invented.
70s. You're talking to a music expert or somebody that
Who?
knows about history.
Okay, Mr. Van Zeke, back to you.
Mr. Meterman, allow me to confirm one final time. Apart from the accused, can you state with certainty that no one else visited the victim on the night in question?
No question. Gasman's honor.
That's a weird way to show your arm. Hold it.
What?
My lord! Goodness me, yes, Mr. Foreman. I've kept my mouth shut and listened up to now, but this has gone on long enough. Are you all with me? Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Are we to understand that you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are in agreement with one another? That you've reached a unanimous decision? Too right we have. Are you all with me?
Yes!
Yes. Or
Oh my God!
as a certain wrestler would say, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, enough with that fucking one.
Wait,
Golf clubs.
that's right. Wait, no, the defense is in the middle of a cross-examination. To be honest, I was holding out a bit of hope for you, young man, especially after you identified those few hours that followed the accused leaving the victim's room.
Yes, the 3 missing hours, as you put it.
But in the end, what difference do they make? Not as far as I can see.
And since now apparent, there's really no reason to delay our decision any longer.
We'll
Like I was saying before, if I don't take 5 bob home with me tonight, the missus will blow her top. What's that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch what you said.
I really like to see his wife beat him up.
Very well, let the court be apprised of your decisions. At my restaurant, you can leave a comment on the comment cards on your way out.
And a tip would be nice too.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings as to the defendant's culpability. Guilty!
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Guilty.
Guilty. Well, at least the old man's not banging his head against the buttons.
Well, he doesn't have he's not in his doctor's uniform, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
All of you? Well, it would appear that the jury is indeed unanimous.
They really want this guy to fry.
I'm celebrating St. Patrick's Day a day early.
Well,
So-
your glass ain't. Well, your drink ain't green.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be green. I'm not a Vulcan. So this time at least, it seems justice will be done. All's well that ends well, as they say. This calls for a toast, I feel. To the guilty being punished. Like...
Ay caramba.
Oh crud, did it freeze on me?
No, I don't think
I don't
so.
know.
I think it frees on me.
Ow.
There's something that I wanted to say, but didn't put it in the chat in case I was right and accidentally gave a spoiler without knowing it.
Well, I do know what happened, so,
Well, tell me if I'm right or not. I just DM'd it so I can look back
Yeah.
later and see if.
Yeah, I know what happens, and I did see your message, but I won't say anything.
Up, Mr. Naruhodo, please get
No,
up.
no, I'm gonna stay right here. I'm done. I'm done. I've been defending this guy twice now, and they just want him fried. Like, I don't know what it is with these Englishmen and women.
Yep.
Like, what is it? What is it with them trying to try to burn a single Japanese man? Like, what did he do to them besides having a porn stash? and being
A
called
very rare cat.
and being called Sexy Nutsmig or Saucy Nutsmig as his porn name.
Yeah. Those aren't freaking porn mags. Those are hentai.
That wasn't even invented back then.
He's the one who invented it. Shut up.
No, he did. He's based on a real life person. He wrote about cats and his life and other things.
Well, in this universe, he invented hentai.
The trial isn't over yet.
What do you mean, Mrs. Sato?
What about the information I found in this encyclopedia of British law I have?
It says encyclopedia on the thing. You notice that? You notice that?
Encyclopedia?
That's so weird. I've never seen encyclopedia.
Is that how
okay,
it's
hold
spelled?
on.
Is that spelled to that? Is it like that?
Hokusai made the dream of the fisherman's wife in 1814, the earliest known tentacle hentai. In 1722, the government made a law banning hentai manga, which means it was common even earlier. Suzumi Fune is probably the oldest anime. It's from 1932.
Ha,
I'm
take
sure there
that.
were people drawing dicks for as long as there have been people in Japan.
I'll take that.
Oh gosh, I love this comment deleted. Jesus brought hentai with him down to earth. They're deleted, so you know what happened. Thank you, r/no stupid questions.
Okay, Seth Logan.
Alright. that obscure right that belongs to the defense in these situations. Remember?
Looks like he's been looking at like yelling up.
That's the face of a man that looks like he's done with life.
Fuck this, I'm out.
A summation examination. Yes, that's right. We don't have a jury in Japanese courts, of course. But here in a British court of law, we can reverse the decisions of majority of the jurors. We can force the trial to continue.
Did we do that last time when he was in fucking court? Come on.
No, because that was in Japan.
Or when he was up for trial, I meant.
That was in Japan also.
Japan. Yes. As we saw, they didn't really have a jury in Japan during that.
And they never will in this series. No spoiler there, it never happens. This trial can't end now. Whatever it takes. I just can't let that happen. The defense moves to invoke its right to a summation examination, my lord. Why am I not surprised at my learned Nipponese friend's inability to admit defeat? You choose to cling desperately to some archaic rule you barely comprehend instead of accepting the truth. Certainly no. Why would I do that? It's a perfectly fine glass of wine. And a very good chalice, I might add. Certainly, no other defense counselor in recent times has exercised the right to a summation examination. Because they all know that once the jury's mind is set, it cannot be altered. Nevertheless, the right remains and must be upheld. The defense counsel's request is granted. This court will proceed with a summation examination as outlined in the Encyclopedia of British Law. Thank you, my lord. Are you and your fellows prepared, Mr. Foreman?
Believe me, my lord, we know all about this young lad's tenacity. And we're ready for it. We're hanging on the edge of our seats. Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat.
No one bites the dust.
Very well. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I hereby call upon each of you to state the grounds upon which you find the defendant guilty of the crime for which he stands accused. Since Mooney is doing her laundry, she had to step away for a second. You can fill in for number 2, Sylph.
Alright.
The victim may not be well off, but he's a noble man and straight up. There's no reason to doubt the man.
Well, I do declare the good gentleman has no reason to lie. In fact, I think he's rather splendid.
Just look at the accused by comparison. He's Japanese, stoops all the while, and has a mustache. Very fishy.
Oh, you're just jealous he's got a stash and you don't, babyface.
Yeah. There's no evidence suggests the gangling actor is a fraudster. For now, at least.
I really don't care, Lloyd. I just need this trial to end quickly.
3 hours of missing time is nothing when you reach my age, you know. Nothing at all.
I knew it.
Are you wondering?
Every single one of them seems completely convinced.
It would seem that all the jurors have come to the conclusion that Mr. Shamspeare is a fine, upstanding, and honest citizen.
And a fantastic dancer. Don't forget the dancing.
And don't forget your acting.
If you ask me, they've all been bewitched by his strange theatrical movements. They're not theatrical, they're real-life movements.
And sadly... Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was about to say, dude, we've been sitting here a week watching you dance. We can't move. We're forced to watch you.
Captive audience. And sadly, nothing Mr. Natsumi has said appears to have registered at all.
Well, maybe he should get some dance moves himself. Well, here it goes. Let's not forget. I pleaded with the jury on Soseki-san's behalf before and it worked. So you never know.
Before we begin, it might be an idea for you to remind. It might be an idea for me to remind you exactly how a summation examination works, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh.
Well, you're still very new to British law, after all.
That's true, I suppose. And Soseki-san's fate is entirely in my hands now, too. There's always a chance I might have forgotten some crucial detail. Perhaps I should hear Sasato-san out. I wonder, should I let her talk me through it again or not bother? Thank you for the kind offer, Mrs. Sato, but I've been through plenty of these summation examinations already now. I think it's important that we don't delay the start any longer than necessary.
Okay. Of course, I understand. And I'm quite sure you're right. If you're confused by anything at any point, you can turn to me for advice whenever you like. I'll be here for you.
Can you just do the whole thing for me then? Because I don't know what I'm doing. The key to this
Yutaro is retired.
Oh. Well, can we at least get Star Sato to come out and help? No, hell no. I'm in a diaper Sunwise right now. Fuck you. The key to this is really listening carefully to each juror's statement. Finding two that are contradictory and pitting the corresponding jurors against each other. But not in a wrestling match like the Shakespearean actors did. Without further ado, please, counsel, proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Look at me, I'm in the background, fully enjoying this whole entire thing. Look at Squidward over there. He can't even bother to even look at him right now. Look at that manly stare down.
Imagine, this is the only time he gets to be on a real stage.
Hold it! Well, there are plenty of people in London who seem noble but poor. Couldn't some of them also be liars?
I've no doubt about it. Like that shaky client of yours, for example.
Absolutely not. Mr. Natsume is no liar. Except he did tell me that he didn't have a poor name, so he did lie to me about that.
Look, the point is, the only thing that passed the victim's lips that night was that Japanese man's tea. When you take the gasman's testimony into account as well, the truth couldn't be any clearer.
Well, that's alarmingly logical.
Well, let me be frank here. I'm a gentleman with a gentleman's values. If it turns out that the old Shakespearean chum was a rotten liar after all, I'd gladly change my decision about the defendant. And I'm sure my fellow gentlemen on the jury would do the same. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, perhaps. I don't see it happening.
Hey, what's that? Elderly gent on the end here, you know. You'll have to speak up. Look, I really don't care about all this nonsense. I just need this trial to be over.
How many gentlemen do we actually have on the jury then? Alright, sir, I may hold you to that. Don't forget what you said.
I am a pirate, though, on my off time. And since it's St. Patty's Day tomorrow, I'm gonna be drinking your beer and stealing your rum from the point of a gun.
Dude, don't drink either. I'm gonna have Lucky Charms and what you're looking on.
Let's see if I can find some of my emerald green. I can find some green stuff.
Hold it!
I actually have. Wait, I do. I think I've got my little attire for green all stashed out, except for my stripes. Let's not go into detail.
A fraudsman? What do you mean by that, madam?
It's really the most tiresome problem for the company. Most irritating. We can't be absolutely certain that a customer is stealing from us, but without hard evidence, we can't even threaten to take action for fear of being sued.
I'm sorry, you've lost me a little there. Who are you?
I was about to say, what the hell am I talking about? I am the wife of Augustus Almont, owner of the Almont Gas Company.
Good gracious, Altamont Gas, you say?
Gas is the future of energy, and in this country and around the globe, but proper handling is essential. As I'm sure our employee from the East End branch office would be the first to agree.
Absolutely, Lady Quimby. Gotta be used properly. Altamont Gas is the best in the world, of course.
I think we may have solved the mystery of Val from earlier, Mr. Naruhodo.
But have you solved the mystery of my dance? No, you can't, because there is no mystery. Right. He bowed
The only
into-
mystery is why I haven't gouged my eyes out.
Right. He bowed into deference to his employer's wife, did he? Ah, so would I be right in assuming that the reason Mr. Niederman was watching what Mr. Shamspear was up to in his room?
I'm afraid there's no end to the population of the East Wing, and will go to steal our gas. So I really have to take no choice when the company identifies somebody as a possible proximate. But to dispatch a worker to watch the suspect day and night for every furrow in our investigation.
So you mean Mr. Shamspear is...
I wouldn't come out and say it in public, but you can finish the sentence with a grubbly little gas thief.
Well, damn. Look, she's got her. Look at her umbrella. She's a freaking.
I'm gonna beat your ass with my umbrella.
Or you can use the pointed end to make it like a bee stinger.
You have noticed the public gallery in here, have you? The eye of man hath not heard, the ear of man hath not seen. Faith wouldst thou me with my wounds, were I to let them penetrate the skin. But seraphs are not insults, only choirs of angels in song.
You lost me. We may not have evidence yet, but my workers won't stop buzzing around until they find you.
Get it? She's a
Fancy
bee.
way.
Get it? She's a bee. You see that? That's a signification of a bee.
Triss.
Queen Bee.
Queen Beatrice? I was gonna say, was that guy like sipping for her in like the most
Gosh.
pretentious way ever?
Yes.
When you said Queen Beatrice, I'm like, oh my god. Oh, I was getting a vibe from Umineko. You heard of her, like, oh, Beatrice the Golden Witch?
I don't think so. I was just remembering some bee puns from that one episode of American Dad. where
Yeah.
Steve has a bee colony.
Yeah, and I
Decides to
also,
become king.
oh yeah, oh god, now I'm already thinking about Conqueror's Bad Fur Day with the Queen Bee and the King Bee. Where the King Bee ended up leaving and ended up having like a freaking affair with a flower.
The big boob flower.
Yes!
I was gonna sneeze. I was gonna sneeze.
Okay, that I guess you're probably allergic to the big boobed flower puns.
Oh, it's from my fan. There's some dust.
Oh yeah. So random story. Before we continue, Sunday I was checking out my checking out, playing my game a bit. I saw my cat actually looking at the window, and when I checked it, I thought he found a stink bug in my window because we usually have them after the winter. Turns out there was a wasp in my window.
Oh.
No.
The quickest thing, I was freaking the fuck out, and then one of the things I grabbed was my vacuum, and it was already installed into like a little on the tube with the suction that actually goes up to like your windows and stuff. Pull that sucker up, vacuumed it all up, and used the rest of it to try to like vacuum the rest of the stuff that was on the floor to try to kill it. I'm kind of proud of myself for actually killing a wasp like that. So after I got rid of it, and do you think it's safe to wear your winter gloves while vacuuming up a wasp? I may have done something really stupid there. I mean, what can you do? It's like a battle of survival.
Right.
Pardon me for the randomness. Continue.
And when they do, you'll find yourself blasted back to the angelic heights in the almost gas explosion.
So, Mr. Shamspear has been stealing gas. I wonder, juror number 4, if you wouldn't mind adding that information to your statement?
My pleasure. Was the bit about ripping the thief apart you enjoyed?
A little before the part about abject violence, if it's not too much trouble.
Yes, of course.
This could be it. This could shift the balance. And you'll notice that Squidward also has an E in his bond.
Objection!
These two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? Juror number 1.
What are you yelling about, lad?
I presume you've heard juror number 4's statement, made by the wife of the owner of Altamont Gas.
Well, yes.
The victim, who you claim to be a noble, straight-up man, in fact, turns out to be a common thief.
So the good lady says, but there's no evidence, is there? You and I both heard them say as much.
It's true. We don't have evidence as such just yet. But the claims aren't baseless, you know.
What?
You heard me. Seeing as his operation has already been compromised, I would suggest that the court hears testimony from our Easton branch office employee over there. Oh, he thought.
Yeah, on his back, dude.
Yeah! He does look like a bee worker.
I'll do whatever you say, my lady. Gasman's honor.
Juror number 1, you say you're a man of your word. If I could show that Mr. Shamspear was a liar, you assured me that you would reconsider your decision about the defendant's guilt.
Yes, I did say that. As a man of honor, I'll hold to it. And I'm sure the other gentlemen of the jury will.
Me? Oh, well, yes. Now that we found out the man's a liar, perhaps we ought to consider the matter further.
Well, if I'm perfectly honest, I haven't heard half of what you've all been saying. So if this means you'll recap a few points, that would suit me down to the ground. Oh no, I'm not having any part of this. I want this trial over and done with.
In that case, I shall change my learning.
No, I gotta get home now.
So, Mr. William Shamspear, if that is your real name, we of the jury demand to know exactly what kind of a man you really are.
Oh,
Dude.
damn.
God damn it! I gotta speak here for another few hours. The wife's gonna give me 2 smackings. One in the face and the other in you-know-where.
Henry!
That's 4 jurors. 4 for not guilty.
Westminster Neighborhood of Victory.
And it's sweet, sweet. No, stop singing!
Order! Order!
Well, this is quite extraordinary, I must say. As a result of the
I think
defense's
we're gonna-
summation examination, the jury's leading has changed. Now, only 2 jurors say guilty, whilst 4 say not guilty. I therefore declare this court to be in a state of disaccord. Not discord, disaccord. And order the trial to continue.
Yeah!
You have spoilt the bouquet, Mr. Shamspear. The ladies and gentlemen of the jury now find they are unable to trust you, the victim.
Peekaboo. But you gods will give us some faults to make us men. So God mend me, I do swear. This gasman speaketh that which concerns him most, naught but gas, naught but thin air. Aye, it burneth bright a while, but it hath no substance, and it doth reek foul.
Go for it.
Wait, what did you say?
Do I take it, Mr. Shamspear, that you deny the allegations of gas thievery?
Most heartily, my lord, hast thou forgot? I am but a seraph, an angel, noble of mind, sweet of nature, and verily, honest of heart.
You flowery-mouthed, pompous beanpole, just 'cause I haven't got the evidence yet.
Mr. Shamspear, if, in fact, you are not noble of mind, sweet of nature, or honest of heart, if you are a liar, then your testimony should have no sway in this courtroom. It is my considered opinion that my food is awesome and yours suck. That at the present time, no other possible culprit of this crime has been identified. All testimony heard by the court thus far heavily implicates the defendant. In short, it would not be unreasonable at this stage for me to rule on the case.
Oh no.
However, in light of the fact that the jury has expressed concern about the fidelity of this witness, I believe it would be inappropriate for this court not to pursue the point further.
Objection!
I assure you, my lord, that would be a waste of the court's time. The gas in this case are unrelated. Juror number 4.
Yes?
Didn't you say before that although you had no hard evidence to prove this man has been stealing gas, you have strong grounds for suspecting him?
That's right, we do. Don't we? Worker.
Oh, dude.
Absolutely, Lady Quinby, Gasman's honor.
Very well then, we will hear your testimony now. You will tell the court precisely why you believe the victim, Mr. William Shamspear, has been stealing gas.
As my lord, it'll be my pleasure. Oh, I guess I'll go F myself now.
Come in.
Go ahead, madam.
Reposition myself. The worker's testimony may have a significant bearing on the good name of my husband's company. Therefore, I should be like to stand alongside him in the severity work, bro, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, sweetest honey. Yeah. What the hell am I doing?
Oh no, you simp.
This is more than simping. This is Advanced simping.
Next you know, he's gonna be my stalker.
I'm looking for that promotion.
Very well. As an exception, I shall honor your request.
Thank you, my lord.
You wait till the boss gives you an earful. Oh, it's gonna sting, you mark my words.
So, you will both testify before the court on the subject of the illegal consumption of the Altamont Gas Company's fuel.
Yes. Is that clear, my good man?
There is Altamont gas, my lady, which is the clearest in the world.
I think he's been puffing it.
Whoa.
Do you think the gas has gone to his head, Mrs. Sato?
I called it.
I think the man is just a very dedicated employee, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm proud to be the company's East End branch investigator and meter money collection agent. Altamont gas meters accept through penny bits, each coin giving customers about 2 hours of gorgeous gas.
And yet, the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room didn't have a single coin in it. The meter doesn't appear to have been tampered with, though the collection agency has the only key.
Somehow, he's using all the flaming gas he wants without paying a penny. If that's not thieving, what is?
Watch where you're swinging an umbrella, ma'am.
Pray forgive the discourtesy. The irrelevance of this testimony caused me to turn to my hollow chalice. What do you mean by that remark, Lord Van Zeeks? Did the mustoid Japanese poison the gangling excuse for an actor, or didn't he? That is all that should concern this court, and yet now we must listen to this abhorrence. Clearly, what separates the vast British Empire and your Eastern Island nation is more than geographical distance.
But this could turn out to be crucial testimony. The cross-examination must go ahead.
VoIP.
Ow! Watch where you're throwing that, you jackass!
My leg! You took my leg!
Do what you will.
Oh!
What a dick!
Wow. Lord Von Seeks appears to be in a violent mood.
He woke up and chose. He woke up and chose violence.
Yes, he does. An attempted poisoning and an incidence of gas death with no supporting evidence. It's true that they would appear completely unrelated at first glance, but I wonder, the truth tends to be buried in the most unusual places, and the first step in uncovering it will be to establish just who and what this man really is. A spectacular dancer, obviously. I mean, what else are you gonna try to get on me? You've got nothing. I'm just a working actor that's gonna be on his way to get his knighthood in about 30 or so years. I mean, who knows? I might end up in a very popular play called A Streetcar Named Desire. I might travel to New York, maybe do a couple of shows and then star in the movie. Oh, fuck. Out of interest, how long has this been going on?
Weeks and weeks. He's been pinching gas off us for ages.
And you've examined the meter in Mr. Shamspeare's room, I take it?
Naturally. He took it off the wall and went over it with a fine-tooth comb.
And found nothing suspicious at all, I presume.
No, I'm afraid we didn't. In which exactly why I demanded a new type of meter to be produced. One with an indestructible lock. The Shamsphere Special.
Oh.
That sounds like it would have cost an awful lot of 3-penny pieces.
But even after that, the rascals' meters was still empty.
I'll never forget the humiliation. I opened up the money box and found it bare. You what? I said. You what?
Look at his eyes!
He looks. Oh god.
And the look on his face, that smarmy smile of his.
God! Easy with your wing there, buddy!
I pulled the meter straight off the wall and took it back to the office. You know what? Nothing.
Oh.
Not a trace of it being jimmied open anywhere. Not a single sign.
He trying to kill himself.
Okay, Combi, calm down. Don't let
What's-
Vespiquen. No, don't let Vespiquen get angry at you.
Oh yeah,
What's
and if you look at her gem on her outfit, that she's so a Vespiquen.
and what's happening to my salary as a result? Down by 3 shillings a day. That's what.
A life-threatening situation in a number of ways. Incidentally, what became of that meter?
Nothing became of it. I've still got it.
Oh,
Right here.
no wonder they call you Meter Man. I think it would be prudent for the court to sequester this item while the trial is ongoing. Definitely. Although at first glance, there doesn't appear to be anything unusual about it. Let's move this along, shall we? Continue with your testimony. Though I would say it has as much value as the contents of that meter.
Oof.
Oh, I mean... Whoa! You spin me right round. Oh, now? What's this? Oh, what's...
You spotted something, Mr. Naruhodo?
Just here. There's a little hole. Do you see?
Yes, you're right. I wouldn't have noticed.
It's not a very neat hole, is it? Not professionally made, I'd say.
No. I think it might have been opened up by Mr. Shamsphere.
Possibly. It seems the people at Altamont Gas must have missed it.
Well, it certainly seems to go all the way through to the inside.
Yes, but there's no way a coin could fit through there.
It's true, but even so, it seems more than a little suspicious.
Objection!
Lady Altamont, I'm afraid to say that this meter clearly does show signs of having been tampered with.
What?
Get away. I've been over and over that thing.
Those eyes!
Oh god.
I'm telling you. Oh crap, I can't see the screen. There's nothing wrong with it. Oh, it's flickering.
That's because it flashes white. Like the game. In that case...
Didn't do this on Skype. That's the only problem.
No, it did. I remember you telling me that it did.
Wait,
What do you have to say about the small hole that's been made at the base of the coin box?
hole? What?
You're right! You're quite right. There is a little hole there. The meters aren't supposed to have that. None of the others do.
In other words, we can assume that Mr. Shamspear secretly opened up this hole himself.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised at all, but wait.
Yeah, why, I mean, it's tiny. Can't get a farthing through that.
Lady Altamont, I wonder if you could give the court some more details about your meter design.
What sort of details?
Well, what I'd specifically like to know is... how does the meter tell the difference between different coins?
What do you mean?
Well, for example, if someone were to put in a 1 penny coin, that wouldn't work, presumably, would it?
No, of course not.
So, well, how does the meter know that the coin it's been fed is a through penny bit?
Ah, I see what you're getting at now. The meter tells coins apart by their shape and size, which includes their thickness. A trophy bit is about 3/4 of an inch in the meter, you see. Other coins just won't fit.
Ah, I see. It's clearly been very well thought out. The witness will amend her formal testimony with that information in case it is pertinent.
As you wish, my lord.
So, they mean to tell me that there's only something that could be thick that can fit inside? Is that really what they're trying to say here? Oh, what's with the
That's a
soap now?
Oh.
Oh!
Ooh, look at this bar of soap. There's a circular depression on this side, about 2 centimeters across.
Or 3/4 of an inch. Ah, do you think?
We did find this soap at the scene, didn't we?
Yes. Because there were 2 bars and that ledge just outside the window. So we took this one. And I'm sure that when we first found it, there were some sort of reddish medallion in the middle there. I remember it clearly.
Yes, but there's no sign of it now. Where could it have gone? Hopefully you figured it out.
Objection!
Let me just confirm something here. If the diameter and thickness were to be correct, the meter would accept any object as if it were a through penny bit. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, by something of a coincidence, while we were investigating in Mr. Shamspear's room, we found a particular item that matches the dimensions perfectly.
Something the same size as a penny bit? What was it?
The item in question is this.
What? Have you been inhaling gas? It's a bar of
Yeah.
soap. Oh no, just having propane.
And propane accessories.
It certainly looks nothing like a pumpkin, but I must say.
It looks like I'm gonna have to point out exactly what I mean here. What's so important about the soap is this part here.
Got it!
You have to turn over the soap to see what I mean.
Are you referencing to that round depression in the middle of the soap there?
That's right, a depression that's approximately 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Or, in other words, almost exactly the same size as a through penny bit.
Get away.
Does anyone here present have in their possession a through penny bit? Quickly now! Hand over your coins, ladies and gentlemen!
sounds rather like a highway robbery, doesn't it?
Hey, throw your coins!
Thanks to a kind member of the public in the gallery, I have here a throughpenny bit. Now, to see if it fits. My word, it couldn't be more snug! Yes, as I suspected. This, without a doubt, is a vital clue to explain how the Altamont Gas Company is being defrauded.
I don't believe it!
I can't.
Oh, look at my skirt. It is bee colors.
Or design.
So, your assertion amounts to what? That some inferior bar of soap has a tentative connection to the theft of gas? Yes. The depression in the soap was clearly made by a throughpenny bit. I must concur, at least, that pushing a coin with some force into a poor quality bar of soap such as this is a remarkably simple way of replicating the coin's shape.
Then you could use, well, some melted wax or something to pour into the mold. Could make fake coins in no time.
Just like when you cut those games, Sylph, that you used to play when you cut through the soap.
What?
You know, those the phone games where you cut through some soap and that seems oddly satisfying with a knife.
Oh, I think I know what you mean.
Yeah, like that.
This brings all the pieces of the puzzle together. It's the method Mr. Shamspear has been using to steal the gas. That's the missing link. And now if I follow the chain of thought, it's going to bring me to a new explanation for what happened that nobody's considered yet.
But this is all nonsense. If the man had been fake coin, my coworker here would have found them when he emptied the meter.
Quite true, Lady Altamont. In the absence of some black magic that can make them disappear. I see. That's what we're dealing with, is it? There is one form of black magic that can cause the fake coins to disappear into thin air, yes. Exactly, and the meter here gives it away.
What on earth?
There are remnants of the magical method used visible on the gas meter taken from the victim's room. If that is your assertion, counsel, the defense will identify these remnants for the court at once. Where on the meter can the remnants of the method used to make the fake coins disappear be seen?
Got it!
We found this bar of soap at the scene of the crime just outside the victim's window.
Outside.
Yes, outside, where you yourself, Mr. Meterman, were loitering in the freezing winter air. That's where we found this soap.
I get it.
That's right. The answer, of course, is ice. Did you say ice? Mr. Shamspear has been leaving soaps like this outside his window each evening filled with water. After a night outside in the bitter cold, the water is completely frozen solid the next morning. Then he takes his fake coins of ice and feeds them into the gas meter, giving him light and warmth in spades. As his room becomes very comfortably warm, the ice now inside the meter's coin box melts.
That turkey son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
Turning back into water and draining harmlessly away through the small hole made in the underside of the meter. That is how, without leaving any evidence of his wrongdoing, this man has been stealing Altamont gas.
Just like that. So simply. trying to make us look like idiots?
Looks like.
He's been fooling us all along with some bars of soap and some water?
That's right, madam.
I don't believe it. It can't be true. Do you have any idea how much money we spent to develop that new meter? And now you have audacity to suggest a bit of soap and some water can render it totally useless?
I'm
Alright,
fairly
boy.
I'm fairly sure I didn't design it.
Evidence.
Sorry.
I want evidence. If you're going to stand there and tell me our meters are rubbish, I want to see proof.
Damn. She getting violent now.
She's very good at enforcing accountability, isn't she?
Bitch is intimidating.
Very well, Lady Altamont. If you'd like evidence, I'll provide it.
What?
Mr. Naruhodo. Are you saying you do actually have evidence to support this theory?
I did notice a trace of something that bothered me a little at the time. And I have a feeling that this theory we've come up with now could explain it. A piece of evidence that substantiates the theory about how Mr. Shamsier has been stealing gas is...
Take that!
This is a photograph of the scene at the point when the victim was discovered, taken by Inspector Gregson, and it clearly shows the remnants of the crime carried out by Mr. Shamspear. What remnants?
Holy shit.
Here you
Police.
Here you can see the gas meter on the wall in Mr. Shamspear's room. Now, look closely at the floorboards directly underneath the meter.
What is that? Wait, is that her or me?
That's
I
her.
think it's
Sorry.
Look, guys.
what is that? Some kind of grubby stain?
Almost certainly, it's a water stain resulting from the liquid that drained out of the hole made in the meter.
Oh.
If one coin gives around 2 hours of gas usage, and the occupant was heating his room in all his waking hours, we can imagine he would have used around 10 of his fake coins each day. The melting ice inside the meter's coin box would have been dripping out almost constantly, leaving a stain on the floor.
This is awful.
And there's further evidence too. Mr. Shamspear is slumped over his table, apparently having consumed strychnine. And right there next to him is a bar of soap, broken in half.
You're right.
It would appear to me then, Counsel, that the man was eating the soap, was he? Pardon me for disagreeing with your lordship, but... certainly not.
He didn't beat about the bush there, did he?
In truth, Mr. Shamspear was found with a fork in his hand. A meal of soap is sounding increasingly likely.
You mean to say he was using that fork too?
Yes. To extract a frozen coin from the bar of soap.
Ah.
But the bar broke in half. So perhaps it didn't go very well.
Good gracious.
Gosh, the bag.
VoIP.
Stop it, for fuck's sake! Are you gonna give me a concussion?
I think you broke my
Wine.
heart this time.
Hey, and it's free wine.
Still, I'm wearing. Still, it's ruining my white outfit.
Lord Van Zeeks. I was throwing my hand up in despair. And
Yeah, give me cuts on my head.
and happened to catch my hollowed bottle on the way. Pray, forgive my maladroit mistake. What is the meaning of this, Council? Allow me to pose my learned friend a question. What exactly did you establish with your most recent cross-examination?
Well?
Mr. William Shakespeare, a liar and a thief. In other words, his testimony is unreliable.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Very well. Let us assume the man is a liar. Now allow me to pose another question. What possible difference does that make?
Well,
We know that suicide can be discounted. Scotland Yard's investigation revealed no sign of another vessel that contained poison. And on the night in question, there were no visitors to the room except the accused. The young gasman's testimony, which we have no reason to doubt, has confirmed that. Furthermore, the only possible way the poison could have entered the victim's body is via the tea. The court has seen no evidence whatsoever that suggests otherwise. Even if William Shakespeare is the liar you claim him to be, these facts have been objectively established. There's no escaping it. Therefore, in light of these facts, the prosecution calls for immediate adjudication.
what?
Ow. Order! Well, counsel, how does the defense respond?
I'm done. I have no life left.
Mr. Naruhodo.
No, don't try to get me out of it. Oh, God.
What was the point of that last cross-examination? Did it actually get us anywhere? Or did it make no difference at all, like Lord Van Zeeks is saying?
No, this isn't over. The defense will not rest.
What? But counsel, you've successfully explained everything. You've identified and substantiated the unscrupulous method employed by Mr. Shakespeare to consume gas. What more is there to discuss?
Lord Van Zeeks just highlighted 3 facts in order to make his point. But contrary to what he would have the court believe, not all of them have been objectively established at all.
What are you trying to say, my Nipponese friend?
At least one of those so-called facts is an assumption made due to a lack of evidence.
How dare you?
But the situation has changed now following the cross-examination of the latest witnesses to take the stand.
Don't be absurd. What is this nonsense?
Yes, when you bring everything we've learned so far together and consider it as a whole, it's clear. There's a question that we now need to reconsider, namely... We've all been led to believe that the strychnine poison that afflicted Mr. Shakespeare was in the tea brought to him by Mr. Natsume, but that's conjecture at best.
Objection!
The victim has testified that nothing else passed his lips that night. There is no other possibility. And since there was no trace of the tea left at the scene, it could be tested for traces of the poison.
Objection!
As I said, the situation has changed. Because in fact, some of Mr. Natsume's tea was left at the scene, and a particular piece of evidence proves it.
Objection!
A ludicrous claim. Scotland Yard detectives investigated the scene exhaustively. What evidence are you suggesting they missed? The defense has made a bold claim indeed. Very well, counsel. Present your proof. What evidence from the scene of the crime could tell us about the nature of the defendant's tea?
I mean, I bet Homestar can take over my spot until I get back.
Okay, I'll be ready to go.
Good gracious! The soap again? The same bar the victim used to fashion his coins of ice? Yes, that's right, my lord. It's just come back to me. Something about when we first found this bar of soap at the scene yesterday.
It's more bars of soap.
Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I'm quite certain that when we originally stumbled upon the bars of soap, there was actually a frozen coin in each bar. So you discovered the gas thief's coin factory. Fascinating. In a way, yes, but there's more. The coins we found in the soap at the time weren't normal ice. There was something strange about them, you mean? Exactly. Something very obviously strange. They were red. The ice was red? No, you mean... That's right. It's obvious to me now. The fake coins in the soap were made from frozen tea.
What?
I would remind the court of a statement made by Mr. Natsume earlier in this trial. That evening, yes, I did take some freshly brewed tea with me when I visited Mr. Shamspeare's room as a gift. The public water pump outside always freezes at night, so I bought bottled water especially to make it. And this is the result. Never will I touch tea again. Never. Ah, yes, I believe there had been a snowfall that day. It was particularly cold. Sadly, on such occasions, the poorly constructed water mains in the East End are prone to freezing. So on the night in question, Mr. Shamspeare, having no running water to use, was forced to use the tea brought by Mr. Natsume in order to make his fake coins. My word!
Hey, Frosty.
There were 2 bars of soap on the window ledge when my judicial assistant and I investigated the scene.
That's right, and we only borrowed one of them.
Which means that even as we speak, some of the defendant's tea is still present at the scene of the crime, frozen solid in a bar of soap outside Mr. Shamspeare's window. Extraordinary! Earlier today, Inspector Gregson informed the court that if even one drop of the tea remained, Scotland Yard would be able to analyze it for poison. As such, we are now in a position to prove or disprove what has now until been more conjecture, by finding out for sure whether or not Mr. Natsume's tea actually taints strychnine at all. Ugh, you smug Nipponese! My lord, we cannot do the defendant the injustice of passing judgment now. The police should be dispatched to recover the remaining bar of soap from the scene at once, and the defense requests a thorough analysis of the frozen tea embedded in it, to determine whether or not it contains any poison. Bailiff? Bailiff! Instruct the police to attend the scene at once. Yes, my lord. Understood. It would seem we have no choice but to suspend these proceedings for the time being. I trust you have no objection, Lord Van Zeeks? None, my lord. Scotland Yard will recover the tea from the scene and carry out the requisite tests immediately. The trial will resume at the same hour tomorrow. The prosecution and defense may conduct further investigations as appropriate in the interim. Yes, my lord. Fuck.
He is pissed beyond all reason.
Well, we managed to scrape through there somehow. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned until tomorrow.
Good time, come on.
not out of the woods
Celebration.
yet. Oh God. It's a celebration.
Elliot, what are you doing?
Well, now Elliot
We're
wants to
doing it.
celebrate.
Yes.
Oh man, well that's gonna be the show tonight, cause yeah, we gotta leave it on a cliffhanger, cause we gotta find out if there's actually poison or not, and we still gotta find out what the hell happened to our actor, like what happened to him that made him collapse on the table. I mean, there's gotta be somebody involved in it, because it's not saucy Nutsmeg at all. We know that.
I'm still not over that.
No, I don't. Yeah, no. I mean, it's got to be. Oh God. Oh hi. Well, Pastor Bad was looking at.
You missed it. You missed it.
Oh crap.
You missed it, Pastor Bad.
I
Sorry.
thought that we changed the Nightbot settings so that symbols wouldn't be.
We did, and I don't know why that was why
Second.
that keeps happening.
Anyway, start summaries. If you missed our other game, Bad, there's the guy that's one of the officers is called Mr. Natsume Saucy Nutsmeg, and we ended up making a character of that, like, because he looks like he had a porn stash, you could say.
Well, if anything, you could just DM it to them afterwards.
Yeah. I'll DM it them the YouTube video if it's on YouTube, our previous episode.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, next time around we're gonna go investigating. We're gonna find out exactly what happened, and we're gonna find out just what is the deal with Shamspear. That's what our investigation is gonna be. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Besides being the
Also-
dancer that he is.
Also, drink responsibly if you guys decide to drink some green alcohol, including green beer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on doing either of them.
Just don't overload on the Lucky
Attempt.
Charms or Leprechaun movies.
I have a temporary message. Anyone who wants to use it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
Is
go back
this-
into that. We're gonna have to go back into that Nightbot and find out what happens.
How does this look for a temporary message?
Here comes a spaghetti raid. I love it. Oh man, here comes the spaghetti.
By the way, that picture you sent of naked spaghetti looked like it had sauce on it.
It didn't.
It had little. It looks like it had a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
a lie. It didn't.
It did.
I ate it. I know. Okay.
Maybe it was the meatballs.
I was in the room when it happened.
Okay, now we're just trying to figure out this. Okay, this whole thing just went from like a suspected poisoning to a naked spaghetti crime scene.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. What are we talking about here? We talking about something gone wrong? Something went wrong in the
Gone wrong.
kitchen?
It could
On
have been
adults,
the
3
meatballs
a.m.
reflecting off the noodles. Who knows?
All right, that's it. I'm ending the show now. Bye, everybody. Enjoy the pumpkin. Enjoy the